Welcome to our channel, Elevate English. Today, we come to the final part of our story. This is part 2 of The Secret of the Old Mansion. In part 1, we met Mr. Arthur Blackwood. He came to us with a strange story. His uncle, Mr. Thomas Blackwood, had disappeared. His aunt, Lady Beatrice, was supposedly a prisoner in the mansion. We went to Ravenswood Manor. We found a woman in the basement. She said she was Lady Beatrice. She said she had been held prisoner for 20 years. She said her husband was a cruel man. She said he had gone to the city. She said she was a victim. But was she telling the truth? Or was there more to the story? Now, we will find out. The mystery deepens. The truth is revealed. The final part of the story will leave you breathless. Let us return to the story. My name is Dr. John Watson. I am a doctor. I am also a writer. I write about the cases of my friend, Sherlock Holmes. He is the greatest detective in the world. He can solve any mystery. He can find any criminal. He sees things that others do not see. He thinks in ways that others do not think. When we last left our story, Holmes and I had just rescued Lady Beatrice from the basement. We had taken her to the study. We had given her food and water. We had given her warmth and comfort. She was weak. She was thin. She was pale. She had been through a terrible ordeal. She had been a prisoner in her own home for 20 years. She was a victim. She was a survivor. But Holmes was not satisfied. He was not convinced. He looked at Lady Beatrice with a strange expression. He said, "Lady Beatrice, you say you have been a prisoner for 20 years. You say your husband is a cruel man. You say he left the mansion. But I have been investigating this case. I have found some things that do not add up. I have found some inconsistencies. I have found some contradictions." Lady Beatrice looked nervous. She said, "What do you mean, Mr. Holmes? I have told you the truth. I have told you everything. I am a victim. My husband is a monster. He has treated me terribly. He has made me suffer. He is responsible for all my pain." Holmes said, "I am not accusing you of lying, Lady Beatrice. But I must investigate. I must find the truth. I have been searching the mansion. I have been looking for clues. I have found some interesting things." He reached into his pocket. He pulled out a small object. It was a piece of paper. It was old. It was yellowed. It was folded carefully. He said, "I found this in a drawer in your husband's study. It is a letter. It is addressed to you. It is from your husband. It was written 20 years ago." Lady Beatrice's face turned pale. She said, "A letter? From my husband? What does it say?" "I do not remember any letter." Holmes said, "Let me read it to you. My dearest Beatrice, I am writing this letter to you because I cannot say these words to your face. I love you. I have always loved you. But I know that you do not love me. I know that you married me for my money. I know that you have been unfaithful to me. I know that you have been plotting against me. I have proof. I have evidence. I know everything. I am heartbroken. I am devastated. But I am not angry. I am not vengeful. I am just sad. I am just disappointed. I am leaving you. I am going to the city. I am going to start a new life. I am leaving the mansion to you. I am leaving everything to you. Do with it what you will. I am sorry. I am so sorry. Goodbye. Your husband, Thomas." The room was silent. Lady Beatrice was shaking. She was pale. She looked like she was going to faint. She said, "That letter? I do not remember it. I do not know anything about it. It must be a forgery. It must be a lie." Holmes said, "It is not a forgery, Lady Beatrice. I have compared it to other documents in your husband's handwriting. It is authentic. He wrote it. He wrote it 20 years ago. He knew about your plans. He knew about your infidelity. He knew about your betrayal. He knew everything." Lady Beatrice started crying. She said, "Yes. Yes, it is true. It is all true. I married him for his money. I did not love him. I was never faithful to him. I was always plotting against him. I wanted his money. I wanted his mansion. I wanted everything. And he knew. He knew everything. But he did not tell anyone. He did not expose me. He just left. He left me. He left the mansion. He left everything behind. Holmes said, and so, you were not a prisoner. You were not a victim. You were a villain. You had everything. You had the mansion. You had the money. You had the power. But you were not happy. You were not content. You were not satisfied. You wanted more. You wanted to live a life of luxury without any consequences. So you spread lies. You spread rumors. You told everyone that your husband was cruel. You told everyone that he had imprisoned you. You told everyone that he had tortured you. You created a story. You created a myth. You created a fiction. Lady Beatrice said, yes. Yes, it is all true. I did all of those things. I am a terrible person. I am a horrible person. I am so ashamed. I am so sorry. Holmes said, but there is more. There is something else. Something even darker. Something even more sinister. Lady Beatrice looked terrified. She said, what else is there? What more could there be? Holmes said, your husband did not just leave. He did not just go to the city. He was murdered. He was killed. And you were responsible. You killed him. You murdered your own husband. Lady Beatrice screamed. She said, no, no, that is not true. I did not kill him. I did not murder him. He died of natural causes. He died of a heart attack. He was old. He was sick. He was weak. He died in his sleep. I did not kill him. Holmes said, I do not believe you, Lady Beatrice. I have found evidence. I have found proof. I have found a diary. I have found your diary. It is hidden in your bedroom. It is hidden in a secret compartment. It details everything. It details your plan. It details your actions. It details your crimes. Lady Beatrice was silent. She was defeated. She was broken. She was destroyed. She said, you are right, Mr. Holmes. You are completely right. I killed him. I killed my husband. I poisoned him. I gave him a slow-acting poison. It took months. It took weeks. It took days. But eventually, it killed him. He died a slow and painful death. And I watched him die. And I felt no remorse. I felt no guilt. I felt no shame. I was free. I was finally free. Holmes said. And after you killed him, you hid his body. You buried him in the garden. You told everyone he had left. You told everyone he had abandoned you. You created a fiction. You created a lie. You pretended to be a victim. You pretended to be a prisoner. You pretended to be a suffering wife. But it was all a lie. It was all a fiction. It was all a fabrication. Lady Beatrice said, yes, it was all a lie. I am a liar. I am a murderer. I am a monster. I deserve to be punished. I deserve to go to prison. I deserve to die. I am so sorry. I am so sorry for everything I have done. Holmes said, you will go to prison, Lady Beatrice. You will face justice. You will pay for your crimes. You will pay for the suffering you have caused. You will pay for the lives you have destroyed. Holmes turned to Mr. Blackwood. He said, Mr. Blackwood, your uncle was a good man. He was a kind man. He was a generous man. He was a forgiving man. He loved his wife. He trusted his wife. He believed in his wife. But she betrayed him. She destroyed him. She killed him. She stole his money. She stole his mansion. She stole his legacy. She stole his life. Mr. Blackwood was in tears. He said, I am so sorry, Uncle Thomas. I am so sorry for everything. I am so sorry for not realizing what was happening. I am so sorry for not protecting you. I am so sorry for not helping you. Holmes said, it is not your fault, Mr. Blackwood. You were not to know. She was very clever. She was very manipulative. She was very deceitful. She fooled everyone. She fooled everyone for 20 years. But the truth has finally come out. The truth has finally been revealed. Holmes called the police. They came to the mansion. They arrested Lady Beatrice. They took her to prison. She would spend the rest of her life behind bars. She would never harm anyone again. She would never lie again. She would never manipulate again. Holmes and I left the mansion. We walked through the garden. The sun was setting. It was a beautiful sight. The clouds were orange and red. The trees were dark and still. The air was cool and fresh. It was a peaceful moment. I said, "Holmes, how did you know? How did you know that Lady Beatrice was lying? How did you know that she was the murderer?" Holmes said, "It was simple, Watson. The story did not add up. She claimed to be a prisoner, but she was well dressed. She was well fed. She was well groomed. She had no signs of abuse. She had no signs of torture. She had no signs of neglect. She was a prisoner? No, she was a liar. She was an actress. She was playing a role." He continued, "I also found inconsistencies. She said her husband was cruel, but everyone I spoke to said he was kind. She said her husband was violent, but everyone I spoke to said he was gentle. She said her husband was controlling, but everyone I spoke to said he was generous. The story did not match the reality. The fiction did not match the facts. She was lying." He continued, "And then I found the letter. I found the diary. I found the evidence. It was conclusive. It was damning. It was undeniable. She was guilty. She was the murderer. She was the villain." I said, "It is a sad story, Holmes. A tragic story. A story of greed. A story of betrayal. A story of murder. All for money. All for power. All for a mansion." Holmes said, "Yes, Watson. It is a sad story, but it is also a story of justice. The truth has been revealed. The guilty have been punished. The innocent have been vindicated. The victims have been avenged. Justice has been served." He paused. He looked at the mansion. He said, "Ravenswood Manor will stand for many years. It will remain a symbol of what happens when greed takes over. It will remain a symbol of what happens when love is replaced by hate. It will remain a symbol of what happens when people lose their way." I said, "What will happen to Mr. Blackwood?" Holmes said, "He will inherit the mansion. He will inherit the estate. He will be a wealthy man. He will be a successful man. He will rebuild his family's legacy. He will restore the family's honor. He will do good things. He will help others. He will make his uncle proud." We left Ravenswood Manor. We returned to London. The case was closed. The mystery was solved. The truth was revealed. But as we traveled back, I could not help but feel sad. I could not help but feel sorry for Lady Beatrice. She had everything. She had a loving husband. She had a beautiful home. She had a comfortable life. But she wanted more. She was greedy. She was selfish. She was cruel. And in the end, she lost everything. She lost her husband. She lost her freedom. She lost her dignity. She lost her soul. Her story reminds us of the danger of greed. It reminds us of the danger of betrayal. It reminds us of the danger of lies. Greed can destroy lives. Betrayal can destroy families. Lies can destroy futures. We must be careful. We must be honest. We must be true. We must not let greed control us. We must not let betrayal corrupt us. We must not let lies deceive us." Holmes and I returned to 221B Baker Street. We sat by the fire. We smoked our pipes. We reflected on the case. We talked about the lessons we had learned. Holmes said, "It was a fascinating case, Watson. It had many twists and turns. It had many surprises. It had many lessons. It taught us about human nature. It taught us about greed. It taught us about love. It taught us about the consequences of our actions." I said, "It was a difficult case, Holmes. It was a sad case. It was a case about deception. It was a case about betrayal. It was a case about greed. But it was also a case about justice. It was a case about truth. It was a case about redemption." Holmes nodded. He said, "Yes, Watson. In the end, justice won. Truth won. Goodness won. That is the most important lesson of all." Thank you for listening to Dark Tales on our channel, Elevate English. We hope you enjoyed this story. We hope you were captivated by the mystery. We hope you were moved by the characters. We hope you were inspired by the lessons. The secret of the old mansion is now complete. But there will be more dark tales in the future. More mysteries. More adventures. More lessons. Stay tuned. The next story is coming soon. See you in the next adventure. Goodbye and good luck.